In this short video, I will be reviewing the Stratta mesh seat cushion on the Aeron sized C Classic. It's the same dimensions for the seat on the remastered. I will also be talking about the fit on other Aeron models. So in the video, I will be comparing across dimensions of fit, comfort, quality, look, and noise. And to cut to the chase, this was my favorite cushion. I reviewed 9 different cushions in this cycle for 3 weeks, trying to decide which one I would keep for myself. And overall, the Stratta mesh was my favorite. It was the most comfortable. I thought it looked the best. It seems like very good quality. It didn't really make much noise. So I really think you can't go wrong with the Stratta mesh on your Aeron. And if that's all you're looking for, you can find a link to purchase this cushion down in the description. If you want more detail and more exploration of other options for you and the details of why I'm giving this the grades I am, keep watching and you'll find out plenty. So let's take a look at how the Stratta mesh fits on the Aeron chair. And to put it simply, it's pretty perfect. It fits all the way front to back and side to side. It doesn't hang over, it doesn't fall short. I would say the only place it doesn't quite snug up is in the back. I haven't quite gotten it to come back as much as I would like, but it doesn't really affect it. It's just if you really get up close and stare at it, you might notice that. But this is clearly the winner when it comes to fit for the Aeron C. I think for the Aeron B, the large size, I would only assume is going to be a perfect fit as well. And when it comes to the A Aeron, I think you're also going to have a very good fit there. Looking at the dimensions, you're going to be about an inch and a quarter too far in front and an inch and a quarter too far in the width. But my suspicion is you're going to be pretty happy with how the large fits on an Aeron A. If anyone tries that, please do post in the comments because I'd be interested to see. So overall, this is definitely the star performer when it comes to fit. I give it an A+ for the Aeron C and the Aeron B. I think it really deserves an A, most likely for the Aeron A size. So I think the Stratta mesh looks really, really good. It's the only cushion that is custom meant for the Aeron and hugs the curves of the Aeron, including the curve to the front. It snugs in really, really nicely. It's got a nice black tone that matches the Atlas well. It has no logos, it has no tags. And as my fiance put it, it just looks like an Aeron chair with this cushion on. You don't even really notice that there's a cushion on it. And that's pretty unique about this cushion. I think that it still looks slightly weird to me that you're snugging it into this weird pocket in the front. I don't think it's a big deal, but I'm not going to say that this is absolutely the perfect look for a cushion, but I still think it's the best of the breed, best of the bunch I compared, and it earns a solid A. So looking at the Stratta mesh, this is definitely a high quality item. The fabric feels durable. The stitching looked really, really good all the way around. Everything feels strong, which is important because there's actually some tension on these straps in the back. There's some tension on this pocket in the front, but I feel pretty confident it's not going to have any issues. This webbing here they used for the Velcro, I mean, it feels like something you'd use backpacking. And the Velcro is also, I think, very strong for fastening it on the back. So I have no worries about this thing breaking. It looks really good and solid. I would say my only nit is, I can't really speak to the quality of the foam yet. It feels fairly soft. It doesn't feel like necessarily there's anything special about the foam. It's not memory foam as far as I can tell. And there's no gel or a matrix of some polymer. So, I think that's the one place where the quality is, I think, a TBD, but I feel very confident giving this at least an A- for now. Whether it justifies the price tag is another question. So let's talk about the comfort of the Stratta mesh. So I've been testing this for a while, and I have to say, overall, this was the most comfortable cushion for me. So notably, this cushion extends further in the front and on the sides, which means I noticed that my legs had more contact with the surface. It was spread out more, which means less pressure in any given area. So if you're going to have a custom fit chair in an A, B, or C, you really want to make sure that you're taking advantage of the full size of the seat to spread out that weight. I think in my prior video, I'll admit, 5 years ago, I didn't really think that would be as important, and I maybe didn't give this one as much of a chance as I should have. But after really being vigilant about testing this for multiple hours, this was the best performer for extended seating, and I know that after 2 hours, this was one of the cushions where I didn't really feel like I needed a change. I didn't feel like I was eager to swap out a different one. It's kind of cushy. It's, I would describe it as having a soft, foamy feel, like a more traditional office chair. So you might be losing some of that air-on suspension ventilated thing. And that is the one drawback I would point out, is I'm quite sure that this cushion would be a little warmer than one of the ventilated models with the polymer matrix. So if you're very concerned about heat, this one might not be as comfortable for you. But I would just emphasize that the way it spreads out the weight, notably, when I recline, this was the only cushion where I could kind of sit straddle, and I still feel like my legs are fully in contact with a cushioned surface. With some of the other cushions, you would feel an edge on the cushion because it wasn't really filling the space. So overall, I give this one an A-. There's always room for improvement when it comes to comfort, but it was the top performer. So let's see if it makes any noise when you sit on the Stratta mesh. No, makes absolutely no noise, so I'll give it an A+. So before I close out, just a reminder, you'll find links in the description to learn more about the products featured in this video. If you do end up following one of those links and make a purchase, it's a really nice way to show your support. Helps out content creators like me. We make a small commission on those purchases. So very much appreciate if you do end up using those links. And with that, let's finish out the video. So just to recap, the Stratta mesh was my favorite cushion overall. When you add up all the grades and you do the weighting that I want to do, which is giving a little more priority to comfort, a little more priority to fit, this is a straight A for all models of Aeron. It was the highest graded across the 9 cushions I tested, and it's the one that I'm personally keeping. I think when it comes down to it, there's just nothing that can quite compete with fully encasing the entire bottom of the seat, which is really important for the ergonomics to distribute the weight across all of your thighs. I mean, I'm not an expert, that's what it feels like to me. And I think the biggest drawback to this cushion is the price. So I understand it if you're looking at 120 or maybe even 150 after it's shipped for a seat cushion. Is it worth it? I mean, they're making a huge markup on this item, I'm sure of it, but it's still my favorite cushion out of the lot. And given how much I'm at my desk here in COVID times, I want to have the most comfortable option. I think the biggest reason to consider another pillow would be to save some money. My budget recommendations are the Tomite if you want something ventilated, or the Millard memory foam if you aren't worried about heat as much and you're okay with memory foam. You'll find links to my reviews of those cushions in the description, as well as a comparison review, or you can just check them out on Amazon. I think the other reason you might consider something else is if you really want an extremely ventilated cushion that will stay nice and cool on a hot, stuffy summer. If you want that and you want the most comfortable ventilated option, my recommendation is going to be the Purple Double. The Purple Double isn't meant for this chair, but it is the most comfortable ventilated cushion in my testing after testing 6 different ventilated models. So I think you'll be satisfied with that one. So that's my review, and can highly recommend the Stratta mesh. For close viewers, I did actually review this 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, I ended up choosing a different cushion. I chose the Love Home Cool Gel blah blah generic brand. I still think that's a great cushion. I didn't even test it in this round. I didn't think it was available, but I have found a link if you're interested in that cushion. I think in this cycle, I spent more hours on the chair, to be honest. And I think that spending 3 weeks solid with multiple multi-hour sessions, that's where the true comfort gets tested. And that's where I think the extended distribution of the weight really made its impression on me. So yeah, you know, nobody's perfect. I think I would recommend the Stratta mesh over the Love Home now. But, you know, with 5 years of wisdom, I can give you a better recommendation. And I hope you found this helpful, and take care.